Anton, Savannah, Georgia. You're on the Wilkow Majority. Hello.
Hey, yes, I was listening to your broadcast, and like I said, I just had a question. I was wondering if you guys agreed on anything the Democratic Party has done in the last 2 years.
Killing bin Laden.
Killing bin Laden. So killing bin Laden is the only thing you guys have that's positive so far in the last 2 years?
Yeah. Now you tell me, now that I've given you one, you give me one on the other side. What have conservatives done that you like?
Healthcare.
That's not conservatives, sir. That's liberals. That's Democrats.
I'm just saying, what have you guys done?
I said, you asked me, is there anything that the Democrats have done that I agreed with? The president ordering the killing of bin Laden is something I agreed with. I give the president all kudos for that. Now I'm asking you, what have you seen in the past 2 years that conservatives have offered up that you like?
That I like in the last 2 years.
Well, I would have been a jerk. You would have made me out to be a narrow-minded jerk if I couldn't find one thing. Am I right?
No, I'm really looking into it to think, okay, what am I really completely that I really like?
Well, I'm going to help you out, Antoine. You support the health care legislation?
That's correct.
You just said health care, right?
Yes.
Okay, what's in it for you?
What's in it for me?
Yeah.
There's nothing in it for me. What's in it for me is seeing that most people will be covered when I know there's situations where some people can't afford it.
Okay, now you tell me where I could find in the Constitution that the federal government is charged with that remedy.
Depends on how you look at it. Depends on how you
No, there's no depends on how you look at it. There's got to be a place in the Constitution where the president and the federal government have this authority. I'm just asking you to tell me where I can find it.
Well, so that means in the state of Massachusetts it wasn't constitutional.
In the state constitution, that was a state program, limited only to the state of Massachusetts, excluding the state of Georgia where you're calling in from.
Okay. So I'm just asking.
Well, here's one for you. If the police knocked on your door and kicked in your door and started tossing your drawers looking for something and they didn't have a warrant, would you be upset by that?
Of course.
Well, why?
And that's something positive that you guys have.
No, the reason why you should be upset by that is because that would be unconstitutional. In other words, government would be exercising an authority that they're forbidden from exercising, which would be to search Antoine's house without a warrant. You see what I mean? So if you called me up and said the police kicked in my door without a warrant, I'd say, well, you got a constitutional violation on your hands.
So this constitutional violation, you're saying the health care plan is a part of constitutional violation?
If the federal government does not have the authority to exercise, and it exercises it anyway, what would you call it?
I'm just saying, if it's constitutional, not right, then why could the state do it at the same time? What makes it right for the state to do?
I will give you exactly where that comes from, sir, since you asked. The 10th Amendment to the United States Constitution. The powers not delegated to the United States by the Constitution, nor prohibited by it to the states, are reserved to the states respectively or to the people. Since health care is not mentioned as a function of the federal government, the state of Massachusetts or the state of Georgia or the state of Florida or Wyoming are free to craft their own health care laws, just as was done in Massachusetts. And here's the thing, since it was such a bad idea in Massachusetts, you should be thankful down there in Georgia that you weren't affected by it. Now, if it was a really good idea, your governor might have said, hey, that worked out so well for Massachusetts, we're going to try it here in Georgia.
Well, the key word you said, state or the people, correct?
Yes.
Or the people.
Or the people.
State or the people. So
in other words, for the people to exercise their own authority of self-government. Meaning that Antoine can go out and buy a health care plan of his own, since the state or the federal government bar Antoine from doing that.
So if Antoine can't afford insurance, that means I just shouldn't have it, right?
Well, who do you plan to take it from? The government can't give something to Antoine that it first doesn't take from Andrew.
So if I don't have it and something happens, then what? You're still paying for it regardless, right?
Again, you're missing the point. The state of Georgia, Antoine, the state of Georgia can pass a law that says hospitals can't deny Antoine health care if he comes into the emergency room. That's the state of Georgia. The federal government is not empowered here by the. Let me ask you a simple question before I let you go. Antoine, I have one simple question. I just want an honest yes or no answer here. Have you, Antoine, from Savannah, Georgia, ever read the Constitution?
No, not in depth. No.
Thank you very much for the call. 1-866-95-PATRIOT. We're right, they're wrong. That's the end of the story. The arguments cannot be broken.